We're here at the Samsung Philippines office over at the Science Hub in BGC. We were invited here to take a look at the Samsung Galaxy A series, which will be launching soon. So first of all, thank you Samsung Philippines for this opportunity. And here are the phones. You have the Samsung Galaxy A73, Samsung Galaxy A53, Samsung Galaxy A33, Galaxy A23, and the Samsung Galaxy A13. It might get confusing because there's so many choices. There are 5 phones to choose from. I'm going to make that decision simple and easy for you to choose the right Samsung Galaxy A phone for you. So the first question that you have to ask yourself is, what's your budget? Because if you don't have a budget, if you want the best phone, then definitely just go with the Samsung Galaxy A73. Okay, I have my cheat sheet right here. Samsung Galaxy A73 is a 5G enabled phone. It has a 6.7-inch Full HD Super AMOLED Infinity O display running at 1080 by 2400 pixels. It runs on the Snapdragon 778G platform. That's an octa-core chipset clocked at a maximum of 2.4 gigahertz. You have 2 memory and storage configurations available. You have 6, 128, and 8, 256. It is expandable up to 1 terabyte. For camera, you have a 108 MP camera with OIS as your main sensor. You also have auxiliary cameras for wide angle and portrait mode, as well as for depth of field. For the front-facing camera, for the selfie, you have a 32-megapixel sensor. This phone runs on Android 12 with One UI, of course. And for batteries and charging, you have a 5,000 milliamp hour battery that can charge at up to 25 watts fast charging. This phone has an in-display fingerprint scanner as well as IP67 dust and waterproofing. Let's say you're on a budget and you can't afford the best of the best, which is the A73. Well, the next question that you're going to be asking yourself is, do you need 5G? Because if you don't need 5G, then you have 2 options. That is the Galaxy A13, which is right here, and the Galaxy A23 right here. So if you'll notice, main difference between the Galaxy A13 and the A23 is the camera hump. The Galaxy A13 does not have a camera hump, while the Galaxy A13 has a camera hump. The next question that you're gonna ask yourself is, are you a gamer? Because if you're a gamer, then I'd recommend that you go with the Samsung Galaxy A23. The Samsung Galaxy A23 runs on the more powerful chipset. That's the Snapdragon SDM225 octa-core chipset, clocked at 2.4 gigahertz. It also has a 90 Hz display panel, which is great for gaming. For memory and storage, both the A13 and A23 are going to be available in 6 plus 128 gigs configuration, but the A13 is going to have a lower tier with just 4 gigs of RAM. Now, for battery life, both phones have a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, but the A13 only charges at 15 watts, while the A23 is going to charge at 25 watts. Let's say you need 5G. Well, you have 2 options. You have the A33 and you have the A53. Now, you're going to have to ask yourself, are you a content creator? Because of the 2 phones, the A53 has the better camera. So check this out. The A53 has a 64 megapixel main sensor with OIS, a 12 megapixel ultra wide sensor, a 5 megapixel, I'm guessing this is a portrait mode, and a 5 megapixel depth sensor. Also has a 32 megapixel selfie camera. Compared to the Galaxy A23, which has a 48 megapixel main sensor, which is not that bad. It also has OIS. You have an 8 megapixel ultra wide sensor. You have a 2 megapixel depth sensor, as well as a 5 megapixel macro camera. For the front facing camera, for the selfie camera, you only have a 13 megapixel sensor. Now, these two phones are pretty similar, but I just wanted to point out that the A53 has a punch hole display as opposed to the A33, which only has this Infinity U display. So keep that in mind, although both of these phones are gonna run on a Super AMOLED display panel, so that's still pretty good. Now for memory and storage configurations, both the A33 and the A53 are gonna be available in 8, 256, and 6 128 gig configuration. And both phones also will come with an in-display fingerprint sensor as well as IP67 water and dust proofing. So let's summarize. The A13 and the A23 are both 4G phones. The A33, the A53, and the A73 are 5G phones. The best phone is the A73. All the 5G phones have Super AMOLED displays. All 5G phones have IP67 dust and waterproofing. And all the 5G phones come into memory and storage configurations 6/128 and 8/256 gigs memory and storage configuration. Out of these 5 phones, only 2 phones run on Snapdragon. That's the Galaxy A73 and the Galaxy A13. The rest of the phones run on the Exynos platform. So guys, do you have any questions about the Galaxy A series? I hope you found this video helpful and not more confusing, but if you have any violent reactions, if you have any concerns, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. This is Kuya Den. I look forward to seeing your comments, your stories. Please support our channel, and once again, I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Paalam!